And speaking of black men who once made an impact years ago, Kevin Hart. Kevin has a 44-inch vertical leap, and I know that because he can kiss his wife on the lips. Being 5'1" sucks, but at least you can tell him apart from all the other blacks. Yeah, they told me to be racist. What am I gonna make fun of? Oh, you got a huge dick and you're a billionaire? Yeah. When you see Kevin stand next to all his normal-sized black friends, he looks like the period at the end of a sentence. Yes, Kevin, thank you. To really understand Kevin's origins, you have to go back to the beginning. Kevin's ancestors came to America in a slave ship in a bottle. He grew up in Philadelphia, where his mother worked at the University of Pennsylvania, and his father was one of the California raisins. I'm just joking around. He wasn't raising anybody. Kevin's dad wasn't there for him because he was addicted to cocaine, which is a lot more respectable than not being there for your kids because you're filming fucking Jumanji 3. That's pathetic. A lot of people say Kevin's movies are formulaic. Yeah, baby formula. That was the best one. And every time you put one of Kevin's movies on, you say to yourself, I see where this is staying. He wasn't always a movie star. He's had a few setbacks. Kevin got a DUI, just a little tiny DUI, his feet barely reaching the pedals. Honestly, it was a pretty serious accident. He wrapped his micro machine around a dandelion. Things got worse for Kevin only a few years later when he got fired from the Oscars for homophobia. They found an old tweet of his where he said if his son was gay, he would break a dollhouse over his head. He used to be funny. How about that? That was really funny. That was so long ago. He went on an apology tour. We had to go around and do interviews and shit. And in one of the interviews, he said, I'm in love with the man I'm becoming. Gay? I'm gonna break a dollhouse over his head after that fucking shit. I guess one of the reasons no one can afford a house in America these days is because Kevin keeps breaking them over his son's fucking head. Kevin performed at the Riyadh Comedy Festival, sponsored by the Saudi government. They offered me a ton of money to do it, but I said no. Kevin said yes. The reason I said no was to honor the brave police officers and firefighters who lost their lives that day. Right, Pete? Kevin actually did really well in Saudi Arabia, but only because they thought he was the monkey from Aladdin. Kevin didn't just do comedy in Saudi Arabia. They actually gave him a sword and a shield, and they made him fight a scorpion. And then at night, they'd put one of those little falcon helmets on him so he could go to sleep. I know this dais is full of degenerate scumbags, and they're gonna be up here saying a lot of racist, terrible things tonight. I've got a nice PG short joke that I'd like you guys to be a part of, okay? Kevin is so short. Kevin's so short that they're gonna have to lich him from a bonsai tree. I understand how serious the word lich is. Bonsai is so funny.